the idea of what his birth should have been like, the idea of what kind of mom I should have been, the idea
just didn't matter.
And instantly, it didn't matter. And I think that was a life-defining moment for me in this, like, being a midwife and trying to be like, oh yeah, everybody should water birth at home with dolphins. Well, okay, well, no.
Actually,
like,
maybe
so.
Not. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Things are perfect. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, it is.
What does that even mean anymore?
No.
It never exists. Right. It's too hard to attain.
Do you want a pillow?
No, maybe actually. I'll change that in and out of my life. Old authentic self.
Right?
I love it. This setup.
I really appreciate like taking poop in the room before.
Thanks. It's like this is where we are.
This is
great. I love it.
And we'll figure out like what we want to.
I think it'll just flow.
I think it'll be fine.
I think more of it is just that idea of like, it's like sort of what I say, right? Like, once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah, there's
nothing
back.
you can do.
There it is.
It's like, boop, boop. No,
there it is.
It's not a bad thing.
I think we need to do. We've always said we just needed to like do it. Just.
I think that's
exactly why even doing this, we're doing it. What day are you free?
Kind of.
Okay, here we go.
But I think that's also like reflective of like our time.
Yes.
Like to be able to fit it in. But I think this is where we're going to go with a lot of this stuff, right? Like, how do we make time for each other? How do we make time for ourselves? Because
this is the foundation of everything.
Everything.
It's
if we
so
don't
important.
have support on that kind of stuff, how honestly can we? You can't do it alone. If like I say, if this wasn't more apparent to me this week than ever in my life, it was apparent this week. You can't do this stuff alone. No. We're not meant to do it alone. It's very strange that we are trying to do it. Yeah. It's not working.
It's not working.
Cheers to that,
It's not working. Oh.
It's not working.
Oh gosh. Okay, are you ready?
I think so. Are you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Boo.
Hey everyone. Welcome to the pilot episode. The pilot. This is my lovely, amazing midwife. You might recognize her in some of our birth videos. This is Jana.
Hello.
And we're finally doing the podcast, you guys.
We got there. We made it happen.
We got there. So we're doing a pilot episode, and as is our life, we have had some technical difficulties this morning. We have all of the equipment, but it was working last night, and now it's not working. So we have our tech man fixing all of that for the first podcast will actually be mic'd, and we'll have all of the stuff. But we're here, so we just thought we'll do this.
We'll pilot it.
We're just gonna do a pilot.
Oh gosh.
Because if we don't do it now, we'll never do it.
Never do it.
No, that's just with life, right?
Totally.
So my name is Rainbow, and this is Jana, and we're both Miller. Unrelated, but not really.
Not really.
And this is our podcast called Call the Millers, because if you've ever seen the show, the UK show called The Midwife, she's a midwife, I'm a doula, and together we have a whole lot of very interesting life experience. Uh-huh. Do you want to just
put it together?
Right?
Here we are.
How long have you been a midwife?
Oh gosh, a long time. I always laugh when I do it because then it ages me. No problem. My very first introduction to it, I was 19 in London, and that was my aha moment.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, who would have thought it would have got me here?
Right?
I look back on that now and I was like, wowzers. But that was that moment where I was like, I want to do that. Home water birth. I was like, girl.
Yes.
What?
Back then it was.
And I was just a kid.
Oh gosh.
Right?
And it was nobody was really doing it.
But think, you were having a baby at that time. At the end of your life.
Yes.
Right? Where I was learning about.
I had a 1-year-old.
Yes.
That's wild.
I think that is wild.
Yeah.
And that part and moment for me and your experience at that stage in your life got us here.
Yes. At the same time.
Oh. That is okay. I don't know that I've
made
that connection before.
Yes,
I love it.
Okay, do you want to know something? I'll just
keep.
We're chatty. We're just gonna start chatting. Okay. Welcome. Hi.
Yes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us.
Did I tell you?
Thank you.
That Our age gap is the same as Mackenzie and I's age gap.
Stop it right now.
Exactly.
Okay, so then when where I was a nanny in London,
Yeah.
at the time, the woman that I nannied for, her and I age gap was exactly the same difference between like her daughter. So there was
That's
Lindy,
wild.
Jade, and I. Oh my gosh!
But any other time
Wild.
that we would have connected, like, I don't know.
It wouldn't have been. Nothing's a coincidence.
And
Just
now
like we
like-
just were saying.
Yep.
This
Nothing
is
is
exactly
coincidence.
meant
The
to be.
timing is all supposed to be the timing,
100%.
right?
Yes.
Wild.
I mean, we weren't meant to know each other at that exact time because we weren't.
No.
But because of all of those things,
We get to be here.
that's what brought you into my life.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's wild. So
It's wild.
Jana is my midwife, but now she's also my like dearest soul sister. I don't even like to call you a friend because it doesn't fit,
No, I feel the same.
you know?
It's like I think our age difference, it's like you're sort of the daughter of my heart
Yeah.
with an awesome bonus.
It's this
Do you
like,
know, like,
it's so much deeper than.
yeah. And I hope, like, honestly,
Mhm.
and I think also part of that for me, which probably is going to be a whole other episode, is that we don't always have to be related by blood.
No.
I think you and I there's something about our past, or however we want to look at that our paths were meant to cross exactly when they did. We can thank Grayson for that. Like, there's so many pieces.
So many pieces. Or maybe we thank Mackenzie for that because it was her birth that made me, I don't know.
Yes.
So we're going to talk, we're going to talk in this podcast about, in this episode, we wanted to touch on like how we met, and because there's so many just weird little universal things that had to align for us to be here. It's actually crazy. The fact that we have the same last name and everything is just,
Where
what?
we lived in a part of the world where it was exactly the same.
it gets crazy.
It's crazy.
Like, we have some really strange little connections that we figured out over the years that we like were actually have been linked kind of for a long time. Very interesting. Yeah. This podcast though, we're going to be chatting about obviously birth, because birth work is a huge part of our lives. Yeah. But I think more than that, we want to reach out and connect with women about birth and postpartum and pregnancy and just womanhood in general. Everything that falls in between. Also motherhood.
Motherhood, all of the pieces.
So going back a little bit, you're a mom.
I am. Of two lovely boys. So Cyrus is 22 and Heathy is 18. Ugh.
Crazy.
Oh, the joys of my life.
I think that's what makes this really interesting too, is because we're in different stages.
Oh, totally.
And I'm just going into the teen years with my oldest. So if you've never met me before, hi. I have 4 children, and my kids are, they're almost 15, 11, 2, and 1. And we're going for number 5, hopefully. So that's, we're like in...
You're in a season.
But I love that, and I think that's something in our dynamic that I really appreciate, because I get to look to you for the next stage, and I get to ask you questions, and like I think women need that.
I agree. I think we've lost that, right? That authentic, truthful communication.
Well, and that's what the village is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a peer group where you're all in the same season, so it's really hard to help each other. I think it's supposed to be made of everybody at all different stages, so that we can step in
100%
when we need to, or when we're able to.
Yes.
It's like
it's almost like that idea of like the older women in my life, right? We all have something that we can offer, be it either way, like older or younger or in the middle, whatever. But I think, so many pieces like fall into this, but that we lost that over the last, I don't know, we could go back as far as we want. I would say the last few years is like really exuded that for me. I'll speak to that personally.
Yeah, I agree.
That we lost our sense of community, our sense of like almost like not friendship per se, because I don't know if we can define that. Like you're saying, like what does that mean totally? But our communication and lack of it is detrimental to all of us. Yes. And if we can't see that, then we better do a podcast. Right? Let's keep podcast.
And our ability to be vulnerable.
Oh,
because if we can't be vulnerable with each other, we can't step in and help, and we can't ask for help.
Yeah. And that relates to so many things. Historically, you wouldn't be pulling somebody out of nowhere to come and help you, like with your babies in your births, right?
No.
You would have known those women. You would have, they either might have been related to them, however that looked.
Well, that goes back to the thing of like having people at different ages.
Yes.
Somebody who's out of baby season can step into your baby season and help you.
Totally.
And when you're out of it, you can help somebody else. Much more, like, we get together in baby groups, and all these women get together in like these almost peer groups. Yeah. And maybe that society had been set up that way for like school. It's all grouped together in ages. And you know, maybe there's just like a lot, the snowball effect to that.
Absolutely.
But then we struggle because we're like, well, I don't ever get any help. But it's like your group is all in the same situation as you. So everybody only has so much energy to give.
Absolutely.
So you need these people outside and not only above, under.
Absolutely.
You need the 20-year-old with no kids to come be auntie and help out too. Just as much as you need a friend when you're, 25, that might be 50 or 60, and then the grandparent ages, and like it's important.
And I think what we've also done in that is like lost, like we all have wisdom. It's just where do we share it and how do we share it? And who do we, and I'm not sure why we got competitive. We talked about this earlier, right? Like competitive with each other instead of really, raising each other up. We really lost that. Like that's my one, I talk about that quite often, like prenatally, all of these things. Not sure where this competition came from. No. But it's not healthy. And it's not going to serve us.
Honestly, it feels like it was, like, not to go too far out into the left field, but like it almost feels purposefully planted in us somehow to separate us more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because
and to rise above it and to be aware of it, there you got it. Yeah. You're aware of it, so you're not going to do it.
No.
Right? Or you're going to be so aware of it that if you feel it coming, you're like, ooh, you're going to stop it.
And you can stop, you can recognize it before it comes in.
Totally.
See, and this is why we had to do this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is why. Because look at us, we just go.
And that's...
But that's why we needed to do this, because we can just talk for ages about so many...
Yeah, it's like, and I guess that's why we're going to call it the pilot, because honestly, like, out of this is going to come, like, you can already feel it, like, and I don't think that I think we lack, I really think it goes back to lacking communication, and I feel, how I feel, social media is a detriment. I don't believe it's, not 100%, but it has been so hard on our last generation, like, it's not truthful.
No.
We all know examples on there of things that aren't truthful. So it's like, how odd. And then we decided that was the expectation that we needed to live up to.
And everybody needs to. And then there's the pressure and competition. Like I think we can gaslight ourselves into being like, but it's good. I met like this person and it's connected me with this. Sure, there are some benefits to it. But I think that we've also I think that's kind of a crutch. If we say all the good things, then we don't have to face the reality that, like, okay, maybe it's not great for my mental health. Totally. Maybe I'm a little bit addicted to it. Maybe I should, because it's scary to face those things. It's that vulnerability thing again. Even with any community, with anything, you need to be at least a little bit vulnerable for communication to come out, for like real, I don't even know what the word is, but like for you to actually face what is in front of you and what is hindering you.
Absolutely.
And
because of all of those snippets, and I talk a lot about that when we see birth videos or things like that, like nobody's like filming their 14 hours of labor.
No.
You're getting their last 5 minutes of beautifulness and everything. What we missed is all of this stuff. And then weirdly, we're creating this own expectation of ourselves that we should live up to that when we don't even really know what we're living up to. Right. It doesn't even make sense.
This is why when I'm online, like even my birth videos, going back to that, like I really appreciate, with Zay Grace's birth, I think I posted 2. I posted the like pretty video and then like the actual, like, this was the hard work it took to get up there. Yeah. Because I think people should see both. Yeah. And nobody's going to watch a 14-hour labor. No. Nobody is. Nobody is. So it's like, for this like purpose. And even to film that, you're just seeing pieces of that 14-hour labor. You can't see the whole thing.
And you're not going to sit there and say like, oh, please watch my next 14 hours of my birth. Nobody's going to do it. No. And we also, I think, strive to go, okay, like, what is the perfect part of this? And what, because that's how we want to like portray ourselves. We've got it all together. We did it. Well, no. Right? Yes, you did it. You did it. But what got you there? And I think that also for just like the work that we do, or the service that I feel the world has called me to at this stage in my life, is like we so underestimate the work that you women put into that. Yes. In 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not fair. Like,
No.
birth videos should have like a,
and
I mean, unless you birth in an hour. Right? If you birth in an hour, you're just like,
Yeah,
okay,
right?
well, that's the length of
Yeah.
my labor. But we really underestimate all the hard work that women do to get to the greatest joy of most women's life is having their babies.
Yes.
And it's not
and
usually
that euphoria
an hour.
of feeling it.
Yeah.
And it's not usually an hour because there's a reason we call it labor, and it's not because, oh, it's all hard work, but it's that shedding. You have to completely, your old self has to die.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why we always say there's death and birth are always in the same room together. And it's not like a haunting, like foreboding expression.
No.
That means like your maiden dies.
Goes.
Even when you have more babies, that version of you dies to rebirth the new version with your baby.
And that's your new beginning.
And that's your new beginning.
Right?
And
We can talk about all through any like faith and all of those things. Death is not always what we've decided it is, you know, it's the new beginning.
Yes.
Right? And to be able to look at that and really sit in that, and you're exactly right. The change that occurs so rapidly in those moments, which is why I believe it's so precious and such a miracle that we underestimate, is exactly that.
Yeah.
If you started a new beginning.
And there's so much nuance to that because sometimes the change doesn't happen in that moment. Sometimes,
True.
well, it does. It cracks you, but sometimes you won't feel it till 8 months postpartum, and then all of a sudden it clicks in. And
Have
you're
I
like,
ever
"Whoa."
told you my story about Cyrus?
No.
Oh gosh, another podcast
Oh
moment
my
for
gosh.
sure. But that was truthful for me.
Yeah.
Was him. I don't need to talk about all the birth stories or anything right at this hot minute, but I knew I loved him. Of course I did. He was my baby. That was like crazy. Why wouldn't I? I can tell you the moment when it clicked into me.
Yeah.
His dad was away on a business trip. I wouldn't let anybody hold him. He would write all the things because I was only the best mother for him. No one could help me, right?
Yeah.
Like, where were you when I needed you?
Right.
And where we lived at the time, I could walk to Safeway. I would only carry him. I knew I had to go to Safeway. I got to Safeway. And of course, it was like Neil Diamond playing on the radio or whatever. Hit me in the bakery area. Like, just like wham, bang. Lost it all. I knew I loved him. I knew, I'm going to be with you. I knew he was supposed to be my kid. I was like, what am I just lost 6 weeks of my life. So worried about all these other things and this and that, the other. You know, the idea of what his birth should have been like, the idea of what kind of mom I should have been, the idea. It
just didn't matter.
And instantly, it didn't matter. And I think that was a life-defining moment for me in this, like, being a midwife and trying to be like, oh yeah, everybody should water birth at home with dolphins. Well, okay, well, no.
Actually,
like,
maybe
so
not.
that doesn't work. But
Yes.
to like almost be so humble and have such humility in that moment. I'm only sorry with Safeway.
Yeah,
honestly,
sorry to the baker.
I did all my stuff. I did. That baker must be like, get it loaded.
Oh,
But I had to put down all my stuff. I walked out of that space. I knew I needed the like earth and the air and everything to just like help me get home.
Yeah.
But I remember being like, thank you for picking me to be your mom.
Yes.
And I had to get to that. I hadn't made that transition.
No.
I felt like I had died.
I feel like this is an episode that is important. And I
Oh,
love
I
that
can
about
hardly
this. Is
wait.
like, you
Yeah.
guys are getting so many snippets of all the things we are going to be talking about because
we're going to name it Neil Diamond and Safeway. Right?
I have to.
But
Because,
some of you
gosh.
get that, right? That moment right when you birth.
I just spoke
And
to
some
a
of us,
mom
it takes longer.
yesterday who was like, well, it wasn't until about 8 months postpartum.
Oh.
And I was like, well, and she was like, she felt, I could see that she felt embarrassed or something to admit that to me. And I just told her, I was like, no. I was like, you don't understand how common that is. And that it's okay.
Totally.
And I hope that I helped her in that moment a little bit to just be like, own that. It's okay. And it's not abnormal.
But what the right thing to say, right? Like, what we decided is normal in this culture, I say this about a lot of things a lot of the time, is actually not normal. It's common.
Yes, it's
two
common.
Totally different things.
We've been talking about that. We're
Totally
talking about this morning. Yep.
So it's two totally different things, which is amazing, right? And I think you're exactly right. Like, this is going to be like just the like introduction
it's
to
the
this.
melting pot. This is actually a beautiful conversation because this is how Jane and I talk. We definitely go into little segues and one thing inspires us and we start talking about something else. But I hope you guys can hear how much we have to say about all these topics, but not only like, not in an egotistical way, but just that I think women need to be sitting down and talking about this.
Absolutely.
And women need to be listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're the people that can help lend our voice to these few and far between conversations that are happening online,
Mm-hmm.
then I think that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to do that.
And just to also, like, people don't need permission to be who they are, but I do feel like they need support to be their truthful, authentic selves.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
Everybody
like,
does.
You know, it's like
And
we're just
never,
talking, like, it's just like,
it never ends. We're still
ever.
experiencing that, and you still are reminded of that as you grow and as you age, and you continuously have opportunities to relearn that lesson
100%.
over and over. Right?
Well, and like we're speaking about this morning, until we really learn it, we're going to keep getting reminded of it.
We're going to get the lesson again and again until we learn it and integrate it.
How do we?
Because we can learn it. We can learn a lesson without integrating it.
Yeah. But it's just like we were speaking about this morning. Like, you know, if I, for whatever reason, don't integrate those things, I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's like the hamster on the wheel.
Because you're, I think, on a soul level, unconscious level, for like what we need for growth, we invite that back in.
Yeah.
We want it to come in so we can learn it and move on.
Absolutely.
So I think we always think like, oh gosh, am I so toxic? No, you're trying to learn something. Learn it.
Yeah. Like you were saying, learn it.
Learn it.
Like,
and then move on.
The takeaway, learn it.
Learn it. Yeah.
But that's so true, right?
Yeah.
Like if you keep, it's like we said, you know, if you keep doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome, that's insanity.
Yep.
You're just going to get yourself insane.
Yes.
Like, and I mean, I think, you know, all of us do that at probably one given time, you know, but it's like, and there, I also do believe nothing is a coincidence. Timing is really a lot of these things. Sometimes, like, it's your choice, you know, and it might not be your right time at that right moment. It will come.
Yeah.
Right? It's true. But I think also with that, it's, do you have any support?
Yeah.
I think, and if we lack it, it's really hard.
Because I think it's important, like women, I don't know if it's just women in general and we've always been this way or if it's the way society has set us up, but we question ourselves a lot, right? And we need, if we're by ourselves, all we're doing is questioning. We don't have that other woman in our life or women in our life to be like, well, actually, you're right in that. Or maybe you need some growth in this. Or like, you need to stand in that. And we need to be told that sometimes. And I don't think it's a passive thing. I think it's just, we are community beings. Yeah. We need to be in community.
Or like, what about the idea of, like, where you were saying to me this morning, like, how did you say it to me? Like, I hope I'm not being too...
blunt.
No.
Or like too, I hope I hope you never think that I'm too blunt or too forward. Or
because honestly, what then that shows me about you is that you care enough about me to be honest. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And if we could do that a little bit more and not worry about the competition part or making a point, but being your truthful, authentic self so that you could say to me, hey, like, have a little look at this perception of it. That to me is also what we miss when we don't communicate.
And I think what we can do wrong here, though, is sometimes we can give that, but we can't also receive it.
True.
I think it's important to receive it because the minute we let the ego not receive it, then we're not actually being a supportive part of that community.
Point. That's a great point. Yes.
You can actually be the one that gets ostracized and you're like, but I communicate and I hold all this space. It's like, okay, but do you let people do that for you?
Good point.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's been like, that was part of my lesson in like, I've had to learn that through, like, do I actually fully sit in what other people tell me sometimes? And do I actually absorb it, you know?
Good
so
point.
Sometimes I've had to ask myself that and kind of confront that part of me.
Good point. Like, you could say that to me this morning, like, oh, whatever, this, that, and the other. If I don't assimilate that, take that away.
Yeah. Or if I can give that, but not take it when you say it to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Good point.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Thank
you.
you.
It's always, there's always so much nuance.
I love it.
Nuance, always.
Yeah.
It's never
Isn't
black
that
and white.
the truth?
Right?
Ever. It can't be. And that's I think I think sometimes we think that. It just can't be.
No.
It absolutely can't be. And I think it depends too, like, on what your belief systems are too. Like, if you believe that, you know, this is all laid out for us and all of this, there's nothing as a coincidence and it's all timing, here we are.
Are you surprised, not surprised by how many people will say that? We'll like throw that in every once in a while. I did this yesterday, like in the middle of an appointment, and I ended up having this like therapy session with this girl. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah. But most people, I've never I've very rarely interacted with a person who was like, oh, I don't think that at all. They're like, yeah, me too, actually. I think that too. I think everything is like, you know, I feel like we all have a little bit, most of us have like a little bit of that in there where, you know, everything is laid out for us for a reason, or everything like has there's something orchestrating. We're part of something. No matter what you believe. I think a lot of people resonate with that.
I would agree with you. I think you have.
Like, have you ever really been shut down when you say that to somebody? Not very often.
I don't think so. No, because I agree with you. Like, sometimes I feel like it's almost like you're grasping for hope.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes in those like challenging moments or whatever it is happening for you, that if you can at least like grasp at that and go, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. Mm-hmm. I am being guided. Some days I'm like, by who?
Right?
Can we change up my guidance?
I feel like this is we could talk about this topic for like an entire episode.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
Because I feel like hope is like such an important piece in keeping you moving forward.
It has to be.
You have to. You have to have hope.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
And what does that, and that looks like different. Oh yeah, like that's episode.
Oh right, that's
right
a whole thing.
Thank you.
Okay, but wait, we need to talk about how we actually met and where we're Millers. We're both Millers.
Love it. We are. Yes.
Which is just so funny. We joked about it when
what
we
year
first
would it
met.
have been? When were you pregnant with Grayson?
2013.
So it would have been 2013. You would have put a intake in.
The very beginning, like the spring of 2013.
Yeah.
I kept getting denied by midwives. And like, because I lived too far away.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about this piece.
I lived 35 minutes out of the city.
That's right.
So they were like, no. So finally, I found your collective online.
Yes.
And this was your practice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was your practice. Okay.
Yes.
Jana has like, what are you? Like 25 plus years experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So
51. Let's be honest, I'm 51. 25. Yes. I'm so fortunate, but that's another
thing. But like, so Jana had her own practice, and when that was in practice.
That was when our clinic was at the birth center.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I birthed in a birth center.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Oh, honestly.
Oh my gosh. Honestly. We need to talk about the births that we've done together too.
Yeah, that'll be another one later.
Because not only have you attended almost all of my births, but now we've done a few births together as birth workers too. That's special.
It's very special.
And yeah, I couldn't find anybody who would take me.
That's right.
So I finally write this email, and I was like, basically, if you don't take me, I'm having a free birth. I don't know.
I don't even know if I read it. I think I just saw your name, and I was like,
it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And it was funny because you were like, I saw another Miller.
Yeah. Well, and your name is so unique. Like, I was like, absolutely. And I also always, again, like, I do believe that nothing is a coincidence. It was like, you put that in when you had to. I saw it when I was meant to. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there was just, and sometimes I really do. Like, I take my job very seriously. I know sometimes people probably think like, what is she doing? No. But it's like that, there was something, and I do mean that. Like, your name would have been the first thing.
Yeah.
And then your other piece, which I think I will try and find, because we could probably go back and like think you were young.
Yeah.
Writing that.
I was
knew
21.
What you wanted. You were 21. Having your second baby.
Yeah.
And what a gift.
What a gift.
Like, you know, so that happened exactly at that time to get us here.
Yep.
If we can look at that kind of stuff.
So it's interesting with us. So she was my midwife for Grayson, and then you, like, a birth in the birth center, and then we parted ways.
Well, yeah, because
that's what you do.
Yeah.
But I remember it being so hard to leave you.
Oh.
I remember I like got you
this.
It was like this modern like or this like.
Oh no! I brought Kleenex.
Jana cries a lot.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah, so it was really hard for me to leave you. I don't know if we've talked about this.
I don't think we have, but okay.
So I remember writing you this letter, and giving you this like I don't know this mug from like this local artist. So because I knew I was like, what's it? I don't know. I didn't know what to get you, but I knew you were like driving around all the time. So I was like, a coffee mug, the
perfect,
one. And I wrote this letter, and it was genuinely like so. I was like, you changed my life. Oh, now I'm gonna cry.
Oh no!
And I was like, it was so hard for me to leave you. Yeah.
Do you know what, honey? Though you never left.
No, right?
That's what's kind of crazy about this stuff.
Thing. Yeah. And then we maintained this like spark of connection we had for years because Cody got a vasectomy,
Oh,
and then
yes.
we were like, we're done having kids,
Yeah.
and then we went through the reversal process,
Right.
and then I dug your email back out. I still had your number in my phone.
Yeah.
And I got pregnant with Zeg, and immediately I sent you an email, and I think it was like, I don't know if you remember me.
Oh, wow. Who is Rainbow Miller?
Okay, so wait.
Yes,
and that might be an interesting part because like
Yeah.
we've been in each other's lives for a long time, but we have not been this close for many years. It's only been like 3 years of us, but we came back together, and the minute we sat together and had a coffee, we were this.
Yeah. Absolutely, right? That's the ebb and flows and the
Because we were always, exactly, and that's why we've just accepted we were always supposed to be in each other's life. Absolutely. Like, we are soulmates in a different way. Like,
absolutely, right? And I think maybe, you know, that piece of you, that's very sweet when you say that, like, dug out an email, found my number. I think, you know, there are women in my life that they don't stray far from my heart because they can't.
Yeah.
Do you know? And however that works, I hope everyone gets to feel like that about, you know, at least one person in their life, or however that works.
Yeah.
Because it is that intense. And then I think we also underestimate, I'd say, the gift, maybe. I'm not sure if I would, maybe I have to figure that out different, of being invited back into your life.
Yes.
At such an important time.
And again, with this vulnerability.
Oh,
the fact that, like, accepting that it's mutual.
Mm-hmm.
It took us a little while to be like, I really feel this way about you.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same?
I kind of remember even talking about that, right? That was, it must have been between Zeg and Zeph, because it was like, we were allowed to say, actually.
I think it was in the middle of Zeg's pregnancy.
Was
and
it?
I think you had said something where you were like, I don't know if you feel the same. And you were like, maybe it's not appropriate. And I was like, no, I stopped you because I was like, same.
Yeah.
Like, I hope you like me because you're stuck with me.
I like my behavior. Okay. But that's so true, right? Like, and I think that you guys had such a, you know, time between your babies. You know, you grew, I grew, all of us, like, those things happened.
But that was like maybe none of this could be here without that.
100%.
Because we were in totally different stages of our life back then.
We still are.
And we still are.
Yeah.
But it was a different, it was a different busy. It was a different.
Totally different,
you know?
busy.
I don't know.
Well, and I also think at that time, right, like, you also knew you wouldn't be coming into the city for this next birth, like, all of those things.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you had also
I knew exactly
grown.
what I wanted.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was doing. And there was no, like, and it wasn't in a cocky way of, like,
no,
I wouldn't accept, like, going to the hospital if I needed to. But I was like, no, I know what I'm doing. This is how I'm birthing my baby. Period. And
I guess, and also, you know, there's always that, like, part of because part of it's my job and part of it's a career, and in the water can get muddy, you know, and it feels like such an intimate, like, relationship for, you know, 10 months, whatever, however long that lasts, that, you know, there are relationships, midwifery relationships that do end at that time, right? Yes. That's just the way it is.
I think we need to talk about this sometime because, like, that's a whole topic of, like, birth work and becoming so close with somebody to support them so intimately, and then like protecting yourself as a birth worker, almost like you can't be best friends with everybody.
Well, you can't.
You can't.
No.
Not when you like. I wish I could explain to them how many people you serve. You not in like this not that like her plate is like overflowing and you're taking too much on, but you have been doing this for so long, and you've helped so many families that would, especially for you, that would be literally impossible. Yeah,
I mean, there's so many pieces to that, right? It's energy exchange.
It is
right?
Energy exchange.
And it's like, you know what? Nothing is a coincidence. No. So it's whatever.
And we're supposed to be in people's lives for a period. Not everybody's supposed to be forever.
And what are they like saying? It's that reason, a season, and a lifetime. And everyone plays a different role in that, right? And lots of times, for a lot of our families, like, I would say most midwives could speak to this quite honestly, it's for the reason. Right? It's not for a season. Some are, right? Like, you know, like, there's ladies that do have lots of their babies with one midwife, and that's a good season. And then there are some that's a lifetime.
Yeah. And you just know. And
Thank you.
Know. Yeah.
So good.
Food's good.
Yeah.
So then I feel like we need to talk about the little connection we made after Zeg. After Zeg, I think we realized that we actually are family. Well,
Oh, honestly. Yes.
this was like another. So we've just had. I feel like our growth has been fast tracked in the last 3 years that we've been in each other's lives, which has allowed us to just be so close.
Yeah.
But like, so I was postpartum with Zag.
Is that when we figured this out?
Yeah, and you were sitting on my bed doing a postpartum visit. We were just chatting, having coffee.
Yeah.
And he couldn't be like, he was probably 3 days old.
Maybe.
Or something.
Yeah, crazy.
And I don't know, we were having a chat. And something came up about your days as a nanny.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Way back before you went to London or after?
After.
After, when you came back from London. She nannied for a little while.
Yes.
And who did you nanny for?
Well, I don't know that we can totally drop names
No,
yet or whatever.
but
a family where we lived at the time.
And they did something specific for work that she mentioned.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, there's one or two.
There couldn't be very many people, yeah.
And I was like, no. I was like, I joked. And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny? And you were like, what? And I was like, well, it's not the... And I said their last name. And you were like...
In fact, it was.
It was.
It was like,
so
what?
This family is actually my family. So my extended family. These are my cousins and one of my aunts and my uncle. Is that too much of a name?
No, I think
that's my family.
Okay.
I can say it.
You can say it.
But
that was shocking.
Yeah.
Right, that next connection of like, I remember just being like, what?
What are the odds?
What are the odds of that?
What are the freaking odds?
That was another piece of it. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Which I was just like, okay.
I don't know.
But I also don't you think sometimes things like that, for again, kind of a lack of a better term, I don't know if it's the right word, make me understand you more. Yeah. And make me understand. And then you nannied for the what? You know? So it's like another
layer where we get to get deeper. We get to peel the onion back a little bit more.
Sometimes it'll take 2 layers at a time. But that's what that was another moment where it's like, what? Like, which is so true, right? That's
just a wild coincidence.
Wild.
One of those things where you're like, small world, not only small world, but just like how we've been circling each other. Just
like, because even at the time, like when you would have had, been more exposed and like whatever, like if I had met you then, I would have never forgotten your name.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So we can like truthfully say, but again, I would have never.
I probably would. We were never supposed to meet yet.
No,
we were not supposed to meet yet.
Divine timing.
Yep.
That was exactly. Yeah. No, that was.
Yeah. But it's just crazy.
Yes, that's another hot minute
gosh.
For sure. But then I think again, it's all of that stuff, right? If we'd never communicated, if I'd whipped in here, not done, just a really quick visit and didn't talk to you, all of those things, you and I would have never had the foundation that we have.
Yeah.
Right? Like it just.
Well, and if I hadn't gotten to the point of doing the work that I had done in my life to be able to open up, when I talk to people, I'm kind of an open book all the time. Yeah. Like I like connecting with humans. It's just, I like that experience. So I always ask, Cody will go in somewhere, my husband, and he'll be like, somebody will be like, oh, hi, how are you? And he'll be like, good, thanks. How are you? Sometimes he'll give a how are you? Sometimes he'll just be like, good, thanks, as an autopilot. And I'm like, oh, yeah, how are you? And I'll notice something. I'll be like, oh, do you have a dog? Like, and I just, I just do that.
So you are.
So maybe if I wouldn't have gotten to that point, we wouldn't have had conversations that we had.
Totally.
Or like whatever, right? And I don't know. There's so many little pieces.
Something little pieces, I think, for sure. And I do, like, when we were talking about this earlier, too, like, authentic selves. Like, that's exactly who you are, which gets you where you're meant to be.
Truly.
Right? And sometimes we have to take a pause or go, just take a hot minute. But I think that is truly who you are, and it's gotten you here.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're the reason I stepped into birth work.
Awesome.
I didn't, well, you know this, like, I didn't plan to go into birth work yet. Like, not really, like, I've always been hovering around it, obviously. I've always been involved in it, sharing about it, trying to help educate other women and do that. Yeah. And it wasn't until after Zag was born that you were like, why don't you just do it now? Yeah. Like, what are you waiting for?
Get going.
What are you waiting for?
Oh, because you have two, like, a baby and two of the,
But no, you really gave me the permission I needed, I think, to just say, like, you're good enough to actually help people.
Well, isn't that kind of a full circle? You didn't need permission.
No, right?
You needed some confidence.
Confidence. And maybe just a little bit back to that first conversation. But this is why we need women in our lives.
Yes.
And this is like, it's not only about the communication and the help.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we need that feminine energy to be like, you already have this.
Right here, you've got it.
And you can do it.
Absolutely.
And just that encouragement.
Totally. Right? Isn't that kind of, there you go, full circle.
Yeah.
Right there, right? Which is funny because my first doula company was called Full Circle Doulas.
Oh, no way.
Yes, it was. Totally.
Oh my
and our
gosh.
business cards were a circle. Not kidding.
I feel like I've seen that logo
You probably
somewhere.
have somewhere.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
So again, like
There's all these pieces.
Got lots of pieces
So much
to it.
nuance. Nothing is black and white.
Nothing.
Nothing.
It can't be.
No.
Not even a little bit. I mean, I was talking to like one of my great friends about this yesterday. I mean, we do have choices.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I do think sometimes that is reflective in the past that we get onto or however that goes. There is, maybe that's another like podcast in the making. Like, how much of it is choice?
Right.
I don't know, who knows? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, there are also the other like things that I feel like I've always kind of known about you. Like, as soon as, like, I almost feel bad about this. Like, as soon as I was born, I was like, oh, you're having another baby. Like, oh thanks, Tips. Like, what? You just had a baby?
We've
And I
always
was like,
been able to see stuff. Like, we ebb and flow like that. We can see stuff in each other that we can't see ourselves sometimes yet.
I would totally agree with you.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, even though, like, that was on my heart,
Yeah.
you saw the whole picture for me.
I picked the wrong location in your house.
Right.
But yes, like, I was like, I mean, I can't feel bad about it. I mean, but I just remember, oh, you're having another baby. Like, I was like, there's no way that your other baby. And I was just like, oh, they're all right here.
But
like,
not only that,
like,
but you told me, you were like, and I don't think that like baby is your last either. And I was like, you are crazy.
Girl.
And
no, it's true. Like, that was always very interesting. I guess just to me about you, that's true. Like, and sometimes I don't know if it's past life stuff or whatever, but there were things about you that were just so crystal clear for me about you. But I also think, Rainbow, you and I have got to a point, which I hope maybe some of this will help people, honestly.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of women in my life that I can be my truthful, authentic self that I've helped them with their babies.
It's
and
a rare gift.
Yeah,
there's
something about this that we've been able to get to be truthful, even when it hurts.
Yes.
And our hearts are hurt or our hearts feel whatever. And I hope you feel the same way.
Oh, I feel
that.
absolutely the same way.
Because I feel like, honestly, like, our high highs and our low lows are equal. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Like, I think things are equal. We should ebb and flow. I should raise you up when you feel not your authentic self. Vice versa, you do that for me.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes is, I don't know, was that a choice? I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't know. See,
That
stuff
might
like
be-
that. Is that the choice?
Is that the choice? I don't know. But again, like, I mean, there's so many pieces about this again, and which we'll be able to touch on, after this.
I think
verse.
being able to do, like, I think the gift in this, we could have done something else in other lives, like for work, right? You could have gone a different path. I could have gone a different path. But I think the gift of being in this, like, exact timeline together at this time, and you helping me have my babies, we have gone through it together.
Yeah.
In the most intimate moment of life. You and I have been beside each other, and it's been, like, we've gone through, like, my births have been beautiful, but I don't have straightforward births necessarily. Like, I've worked for my babies. I've had some tricky moments that we've had to overcome. I think I've challenged both of us.
For sure.
In my births.
Absolutely. Yes.
And part of that, I think, like, maybe that's why we can feel this way in such a short amount of time of life or whatever, because we've been through so much together.
Oh, maybe. Good point. Yeah.
Like, we have fast-tracked a lot of relationships just by what we're doing.
And I would also say, like, for you, the trust that you put in me to guide you through some of those very challenging moments is, I mean, how else can we measure that?
No, I literally trust you with my life and my children's lives.
And I,
no matter
I don't
no
even
matter
know
what,
how to, like,
not in a, like, you would always have to save me, but, like, I trust you to be beside me.
But I think that's what gets us here.
Yes,
Like, you can say anything to me and vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's like, it goes back to that blunt thing. Okay, well, you trust me to have Yes, we were on for your babies.
Well, because we're so close that I
yeah.
know that nothing. One, I know that I'm never going to be mean to you.
Well, no.
On purpose.
Not on purpose. So, oh my gosh, that's so funny because where I was, I can't totally be, but I was like, are you ever mean to like people like intentionally? 9 out of 10 people. Yes. What? I was like, okay, so you shouldn't do that. Like, you know what I mean? You wouldn't intentionally be mean to me. I'm not going to intentionally be mean. I mean, there was probably a couple of times we could look back and maybe a couple moments in your labor where you might have thought, okay, she's being a bit directive or take it as mean, but that's also that process.
Oh, right. Like me being.
Yes. Like,
I'm blunt in my labors, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, no. Like,
because, like, no. And, like, you have to understand, and you do. You understand the work it is. You understand this is just birth. This is just a moment of birth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, like, when I'm in the middle of it, I can bark out a couple words and that's it. That's all you get from me. So I make it concise and like...
Yeah, you're pushing out your baby.
But everybody knows not to take it personally.
Yes. Well, it shouldn't be in birth work if you're going to
No, really, if you're going to do birth work, you can't take anything. Anything that is said in labor stays in labor.
Right here. But I think that's also like it's such a precious place and all of those things. So, I mean, the whole flip of it is like, if we're really going to sum this up, thank you for having me.
Oh, honestly. Thank you for coming.
Oh my gosh.
And being here with me. Yeah. Jeez.
Totally.
See, I could go further, but then we will sob. We're
not going to do it.
We're not going to do it today.
None of that today.
Oh my gosh.
But it's, I think that there's so many pieces to it. And I think where we're talked about too, right? I do think birth matters.
It matters.
Do. Actually, you know what was so crazy? You and I haven't even talked about this. Michelle O'Donnell passed away. Do you know that? The man from France, I think he's from France, excuse me if he's not, he was like the water birth guru.
Oh!
And I honestly, again, don't quote me, he was like just like, maybe it was like August 19th.
Oh my gosh.
He just, like this is going to be awesome to watch. Like who steps into that role? Will anybody? Like, and to have such a powerful person speak to all those things, which maybe this is another piece of all of this, but like all of those things, right? Like when you look at all the cycles of all of the things in the life, and I don't like, he's just come up, maybe he's like guiding us through this a little bit. We'll take it. But like, you know, if we're going to go back and we'll go through all of this stuff, I know it, but like, how did you know you wanted to water birth? How did we get all of those things? You know? Like,
truly.
Right? Truly. So many pieces to it.
So many pieces.
Totally.
Do you ever feel, I have a question for you though.
Oh, girl.
Do you ever feel, is it hard to be my midwife? Sometimes.
What do you mean?
As like, because we're so close, does it feel like added pressure? You know how some people are like, well, you know, if you're a paramedic, you should never attend your own family, kind of thing like that. Is that a piece for you or anything?
Not in the slightest. That is my greatest joy. Honestly. Well, are you like
yeah?
How could I ever measure being at Zag's birth for what it was an awesome time in your family? Right? Like you had 2 older children. You guys made huge, big decisions to have another baby come into your life.
To start that season again.
Yeah. You invited me into that. Stunningly. Like those are some of the most beautiful memories I remember of your children coming after he was born. And for me to come here this morning and him yelling at me from your steps and calling me Auntie Gina. was like.
That's what we've built though.
Exactly.
But those were, that was, I think when you say, was this a choice? I think the choice was there, but we took it.
I agree.
We chose to accept it.
Good point. Because you know what, sometimes I know in myself that, like, you know that I did a birth last night. I am tired today. Yeah. It's been a bit of a weekend for me.
But I think we do this together where you let me know that you went to a birth last night. I'm almost expecting that every time I see you.
Morning.
But then we have this we have this relationship where I'm like, okay, coffee pot's on. Pour you a cup, hand it to you, and we had a bit of a chat first, and we just know each other enough to like, all right, how do we when we're more tired, when we're this, we can support each other at that moment and still do stuff like this. Still sit down and film
that make it
something.
Be okay. Like today, maybe it's not all about the glamour and the glitz. It's about being my truthful, authentic
and
self.
Showing up how we are in the moment. And like how this podcast even came about, we have been wanting to do this for a year. I think in September it will be like we decided, okay, we're going to do a podcast last September. and life has just happened. I mean,
Yeah.
so much life has happened
Yeah,
between this
so
year.
much.
I had surgery, all this
Yeah,
stuff
you're
happened.
girl. Yes.
But even that, like, who's the one person that showed up at the hospital that wasn't my own husband? It was you.
Oh no.
I went to, like, I was in a different town. I was like 45 minutes away in a little bitty town in the middle of an epic a blizzard. And who calls me? I'm 15 minutes away with tea. You. And that's why we're here.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we're not that's why I'm like, we're not just friends.
Yeah. Totally.
Just friends.
And
Don't
I
do
think,
that.
and honestly, and this might come up, this could probably, honestly, this could be a podcast in itself. I think birth work is an interesting dynamic because there's a part of our life that is grief for what we miss.
Yeah.
And, you know, and every birth worker can speak
and what you
to
sacrifice to support.
And, yeah. But when people can see past that
Mm-hmm.
and know that those moments, and I speak to this more probably honestly now than I ever did before, and mostly in regards to my family, like my kids and my sister, my niece, like those people that when you do have to like leave or all of those things, that they understand.
Yes.
Right? And that when we do show up, and yeah, maybe it was just with tea in that tiny little town in that
But
hospital.
to you, it was just with tea. But for me, it was the only person who came. Right?
So no, we have like boxes of
right?
Kleenex down around our
we'll have
spots,
like
but,
I'll bedazzle a tissue box.
but
So we can
also
put right
my like one little thing about that is I wouldn't have done anything different.
Yeah.
Ever. Is there other ways I could show you that I love you and care about you? I think that's what we're missing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think the world is so, I don't mean it like so dramatically, but let's even just take it back down to our communities. Like we don't need to go in the world, but like I think women are lonely.
Yes.
I think we don't tell each other we love each other enough. I think we don't, sometimes it feels hard to expel extra energy to do these things
Mm-hmm.
or bake the extra cake or do it, but do it. But just do it, right?
Yeah.
Because every time we do things like that, it's hard. It's like how I say postpartum, right? Like if somebody's bringing you food and cookies and all the things, take it. Honestly, take it.
Yes, take it.
You will do that for someone else in your life,
Right.
right? When you're not in this season of postpartum, as we age and get older, you know, yeah, do we have to ask for help sometimes? Yes. Is it hard? For me, it seems very difficult. You know what I mean?
But this is something that you're touching on right now that
Absolutely.
I think might not be understood if you've never experienced this or you're not in it, is when you say take the food, if that's not in your particular diet because you choose not to eat seed oils, but somebody brought you a thing of muffins, take the muffins.
Take the muffins. Take the muffins.
Thank you for supporting me. Take the muffins. And that's what we mean. I think you're going to find that there's a lot of nuance between us. It's not, yes, we might be home birth people.
Sure,
and we
whatever.
might prefer to support home births, and that might be the niche that we chose to focus on. But there's so much nuance in everything.
Absolutely.
In birth work especially, if something happens, there's backups. There's things we can do. We have to be flexible to have the community as well.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't
And
like
it's
how
not
you
about
did
the
this
muffins.
one thing, so I'm never going to ask for your help again. No, then we're never going to have community.
Then we're never going to move through that.
Well, we're not exactly the same, so I don't want you in my circle.
Yeah.
Well, is that actually serving you?
Have we ever, and I don't know, this is a question, have we ever lived so separately in the world? Again, let's bring it back to our community. Some of us don't even know our neighbors, right?
Truly.
Some of our neighbors don't even know that like families have had babies. What? That is insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
And how did we get here? Ooh, that's a whole other podcast, right?
Yes.
And it should be like we don't live with our families,
No.
right? We don't have that communication, or let's talk about our grandmas, our aunts, our sisters, our moms that, you know, we watched birth or help them in postpartum. No, it's not happening.
Because
But it's a whole other podcast. You and I've talked about this.
Yes.
Is this role that we put men in to be our like labor support and our breastfeeding support, but nobody really taught them. And are they meant to be doing that?
And when they don't serve us the way we need to be served, is that like aside from toxic stuff, is that really their fault? It's like this. So I think you and I have interesting. I think we need to talk about like men for sure
that would
in
be
a
great
podcast,
honestly.
because as mothers of sons, and then our experience with
Ooh, excuse me, sorry.
that happens a lot. Midwife life.
Midwife life. Look at it. It's good. Boop.
It's good.
We'll be fine.
With like men and even, our relationships and everything like that, I think we have a lot of perspective between us on masculinity and men. We're still learning things through it, of course.
Absolutely.
But I think you and I have and I think we need to have these talks. I think all of these conversations is why we want to sit. This is how we talk. We chat like this. We sit down and have coffee and we talk like this.
Yeah.
And I think this is what inspired wanting to do the podcast was we feel like women need to hear this. Not just from us, but like as a community, and nobody's really talking like this. Not very many people will sit down and talk like this. And I think it's needed.
I would agree with you.
Just raw and
and try to be not judgy about it. Like, sometimes you just want to be like, ooh, or just like,
Well, I think that's what people are going to find is interesting about this podcast is because I think people are going to come in and see that you're a midwife and I'm myself, like I'm very public online.
Yeah, you're good.
So a lot of people think, maybe some people will have an assumption like, oh, I think any birth that's not home birth or water birth is bad. Or you as a midwife who does home births, maybe you think that anything outside of that is bad. But I think people are going to discover just how much nuance is here and how much we believe in the nuance and how much we think there is ebb and flow despite what we decide to do. We still have to honor what's on both sides of that.
And I think that's also this like not being in a competition.
Yeah.
And general acceptance of people for who they are.
And being humble enough to see all of it.
Absolutely. Talked about this yesterday with my sister. Being humble and having humility and living in your most sometimes hard integrity.
Yes.
And being brought down to your knees sometimes of being that humble. The only way to go is up.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's just all growth.
It's all growth. And actually we're talking about this too yesterday, like, and this can be a whole other, we're talking about change and all this change and all these things and change. What about if it was that we're healing?
Yes.
Right? What about some of those? And I mean, there's a whole podcast on birth trauma coming. Yes, there is.
Oh, yes.
What about if we started to be a little bit gentler about some of this stuff, and really opened our hearts to listen and not be judgmental, not so quick to throw it right back or so quick to go, but to like honestly have that minute where it's actually okay to just listen.
Can we just listen?
Can we? That's like one of my greatest like lessons and things I really honestly try to do. I'm not always good at it, but try not to interrupt people. Just take that away.
Something I'm always working on because
all you're showing me, and I just did it to you, is that what I have to say is more important than what you have to say. No, that's not right.
And it's not always the intention to interrupt. My brain goes a mile a minute.
Exactly.
So sometimes if I don't say something, I'm going to lose it.
Totally.
So, but even with that, just getting better at not losing it and keeping your mouth shut and accepting that if I lose it, that's okay.
And what about if you allowed yourself to just to slow down? Right? And sometimes that's a lot. Like, and I know sometimes for me in those moments, it's like you don't even finish a sentence. You're already onto the, you're like, oh, there's a squirrel. Oh, yeah. You're like, what just?
And then you add in babies and all of that.
I'm sorry, and my phone's ringing, and you're just like,
and it's everywhere.
I honestly wonder if that sometimes is that slow down, just take a breath, take a minute, and actually hear what somebody's saying.
Stop being in your masculine.
Oh, girl.
Right? That's that whole thing.
The next time my nails are all done, I've got all my makeup on.
There we go. Justice for everybody.
Until next time. Honestly. Anyway, that would actually be funny, but
that would be.
There you go. So that is a lot. We've touched on a lot.
I think we've done a good pilot episode.
That was a little pilot. And we're not talking airplanes.
No. I think we touched on so much. I think it really is. I'm glad. We had no plans for this. We just sat down and started talking. We had a general outline of like we're gonna like chat about how we met and who we are.
Maybe say who we are. Did we do that?
We said that, right?
Yeah, right.
But I hope you guys can see the why behind why we wanted to sit down and do this. And I'm actually like, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you
for deciding to do this with me.
Thank you.
Because I know this is huge for you. You are a
very
private,
for me.
quiet person.
Thank you for you. That's a very truthful
nobody
thing
knows
for
who
me.
you are unless they've been like, she is. You get her if you're recommended. Like if somebody's giving you her number or like, oh, I know a midwife. I'll get her for you. That's how you find Jana, basically.
Yeah, but I'm very grateful. I don't mean that thank you for saying that. I've been so fortunate in my career, and I think that's really honestly the transition for me over these last couple of years. It's in this season of my life, it's a real service for me. It doesn't, and it can be faith-based or not, however you want to look at that. But the women that have come into my life and moved me into that space, which we can, we'll talk about, I know. I just take that as such a gift. I'm so grateful for that, and you being one of them.
That sets you apart. And you have a hard time, I think, accepting that fact.
That's the truth.
That does set you apart from other midwives a lot, because this is not just business for you.
No, not anymore.
This is life work.
Yeah. I believe it's a calling. I think a lot of midwifery is that, birth work is that, is a calling.
Can your calling get lost in the boss babe? That's a whole boss babe stuff.
Yeah. And can your calling, and that's our egos. And that's a tough lesson sometimes, but also sometimes handing it over, right? And going, this is bigger than me.
Yeah.
And that I honestly, that calling is you're exactly where you're meant to be at that exact time. And so then I know that.
And even here, there's a reason you're sharing now. You're opening now. Like, this is a huge deal for you to let people in like this, the public see and hear what you have to say. But I think you have so many beautiful things to say. And I think it's your time to share.
Right back at you. All right. Okay, till next time.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you.
But I want to just mention to you guys, we're going to put this out as a little teaser. This is your teaser. And then we're going to sit down in our busy schedules and film a couple of episodes prior, so that if, when birth happens and we get bumped a little bit, we plan to show up to you guys weekly, so that when we get started after this and we launch the first episode after this, you will be getting an episode every week from us on Tuesday mornings. So I hope you enjoy that. Look forward to that. You can check out my website in the link below, and all the updates will be in the podcast section, like the watch section. I'll be posting it. Check social media. Follow down below. You're so good at that. Like, all of those things. You will be notified. I will make sure you guys are notified of the next one. But just make sure you're following. Make sure you keep tabs on us through this if you want to see more, if you liked what you saw today.
Ooh, and shoot out topics.
Oh yeah, if this inspired, please, let us know down in the comments. Yeah. Please let us know if you really want to dive into a topic that maybe we touched on today, or you just want to hear something, or something sparked your interest. Please tell us. That is so helpful. I will make a master list, and we will just start a great idea. Checking through it. Right?
Little guest appearances.
Yes,
we're on fire.
This is part of the reason we called ourselves Call the Millers. Is one day, wouldn't it be so fun if we could do a call? Or I was thinking one of you guys could send a voice note in that we could play as a call at the beginning, and that could launch the topic. We could talk about that.
It's endless.
So honestly. Endless. There's going to be so much from us, and I think that it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Me too.
I'm very
excited.
Thank
you for this is great. Thank you.
This is wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for being with us, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be with us.
Absolutely.
And,
thank you.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.